Good day, family. Welcome to the Power Up, where we're excited to join you as we all go grow together in one human race. We're excited to see you. Thank you for joining us as we equip, educate, empower, and elevate each other to be better. Because remember, when we're better us, we're a better mom, wife, cousin, better coworker, worshiper, grocery store attendant. We're better at everything we touch. So let's get started. The Power Up today wants to first begin with our thoughts for our families across the water. We always highlight global news that also impacts us nationally. Within the last few weeks, there was a devastating event that took place in the Mediterranean Sea. And we want to pause to make sure that all of our listeners are aware. Many times the mainstream media might not put attention on things that impact us. Maybe they're focused more on national news or something targeted. Well, this global impact matters. Over 700 individuals were on a shipping vessel in the Mediterranean Sea. Syrians, Pakistanians, primarily refugees freeing their country, freeing crime and war, hoping to get to better land. 700 individuals on this shipping vessel went out to sea, hoping to get a better life. What ended up happening was the vessel was overtaken by water. Sadly, more than 200 migrants, those refugees, lost their lives at sea. Coast guards from many different countries came together to do a rescue of the remaining individuals, and our hearts are with them. We want to remind you that there are ways you can assist those across the water, whatever country they might be in. Remember, that might be Pakistani and Syrian refugees across the water, but there are Pakistani and Syrian Americans among us. So those are their family members. They might be our neighbors or coworkers. But remember, the only difference between you and I is the color of the skin. But we're all the same underneath. So we take this opportunity to highlight this tragic event where 700 left hoping for better. The vessel capsized and 200 plus, still counting, still conducting a search and rescue, did not make it to their destination. We're grateful for the men and women who do rescue efforts on a regular basis that were able to save many children, women, and men on that vessel. But again, how can you help? Tami, why is this important to me? Well, the American Red Cross has taught us many things over the years. They are a viable resource for information around water safety. So what we want to do is bridge a gap. While we're highlighting this horrible event that happened on the Mediterranean Sea, we want to prepare ourselves for possible events that could happen right in your neighborhood. So let's take a minute and think about water safety tips, what you can do to make sure that you and your family are better during these summer months. Do you know that there's certain things that you can do that might be easy to make sure that the babies are safe, those around you are safe? You can reference the American Red Cross. They have a resource for safety tips, but let me just share a few. We often think about water as one of the main elements, right? Because you've got earth, you've got the wind and fire. There are different things that can certainly cause death that we're accustomed to, or some of us might just experience if that hurricane comes, right? Nature has a way of helping us pay attention to safety efforts. So let's talk about water safety. Let's talk about how you can make sure your family, your vacation, what you do helps. There's a few tips. First, never swim alone. Rule number one. Because if something should happen, No one's there to provide aid. It's always recommended that you swim, even in the ocean or a pool, near a lifeguard station. And at a minimum, buddy up with someone to make sure that you're not alone. Remember to swim sober, family. In these months, when the weather breaks, we have vacation and an opportunity to have a good time. Do it in a safe manner where you get back home to your life from your vacation as great, if not better, than how you left. Remember, swimming sober is important. Make sure that if you're on vessels such as boats or ships, if you're those yachts, opportunities even for cruises, know where the life jackets are. If you ever need to jump ship, you want to make sure that you're in a place where you can be safe. Find out the safety instructions and get your life jacket. Never let children swim unsupervised or play around any water alone. Children should always be supervised. Think of it this way. If a current can overtake a grown person, how do you think a baby will fare? So you are the one that can best be there to help them. Another tip is just to know your limits. If the current is too strong and you're not the best swimmer, don't take that chance. Your family needs you. Drink plenty of water is a tip that folks often don't think about, especially when you're going to the water. But do you know that the beach and the sun, the salt air can cause dehydration? Do you know that you can get disoriented with too much sun? And just because you're looking at a lot of water, you're thinking about there's no reason for me to drink it. Family, consume water while you're at the beach. Allow your brain to continue to function and all your faculties to continue to work appropriately. And the last tip I'll share, be careful diving. Too many accidents happen because folks think that the water is deeper than it is. Know where the rocks are, know the cliffs, know even the foot in the pool before you decide to dive. Family, if you just use a few of these tips, they can help you during these wonderful summer vacation months while you're having fun in the sun. So again, while our hearts are heavy, we're sending prayers, we're sending resources to our family across the water. While we're grateful for those who are emergency rescuers, who are trained in emergency preparedness and how they can best provide resources, we wanted to take this opportunity to bring it home. Water safety tips you can use. And take an opportunity to share them with the folks around you, with those families, your neighbors. If you know you're taking 5 kids to the pool, take an opportunity to make sure they understand 10 feet is deep, 3 feet, you want to stay here. Here's the life jackets. Okay, if you're underage, you're not swimming without it. Whatever you feel is appropriate for you to care for those babies, they need you more than ever. Have fun, but be safe. Okay, especially when you're taking opportunity to do that deep sea fishing. Come on, my adventurous folks who love the summer months because they get out and they get to do things that when it's the winter time, you can't do. Make sure that your harnesses are tight if you're parasailing. Make sure that you're aware of where you're supposed to be speed boating and jet skiing. Make sure that you understand the parameters of what you're about to adventure into. Because again, we need you to return safely. Feel free to tap into the Red Cross, who puts resources out on water safety tips. Yes, you can donate blood to them. Yes, you can donate money to them. Yes, they are an amazing entity that helps grassroots agencies serve the people in need. But they're also a resource on how you can be the best you. Consider these water safety tips Share the information with those around you. Keep that buddy system in place. Never go alone. And reminder, go with the right mentality. Soberly. Don't drink and ski. Don't drink and decide that you're going to get on that boat and swim. Don't drink and say it's time to go in the pool. You, even with your recreational drugs, you want to not use them and put yourself in harm's way. Family, on this show, we promote health and safety first. What you decide to do is ultimately up to you. But we want to make sure that you're equipped so that you can have an amazing summer. We hope this information was helpful, remembering those 700 who left excited for an opportunity and now mourn at least 200 individuals. And thinking about how we can be safe where we are as we enjoy what's ahead. So, family, we're going to walk into some more information on the Power Up that we hope is helpful to you. Get your pen and paper. There's more to come after this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Life has its way of being sweet, and life has its way of being spicy.
You did not have to hit me there.
Girl, I did not hit you there.
Anywho, life has its way of being hard, and life has its way of being easy. Join us every second Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time,
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
at the We Empower Network. Tune in to the Sweet
and Spicy
Podcast. Hope to see you there.
Bye.
Hey, it's Coach Piangel Jones from the Empowered Morning Show, and I'm reminding you to watch All Things Well 4 Thursdays right here on the WIN Network.
Good day, family. Welcome back to the ride. We're excited to have you here on the Power Up as we grow together in knowledge, in passion, and in purpose. So let's go right into it. We're now going to embark on our health front. Here at the Power Up, one of the main things that we like to do is leave you educated with information you might not have considered before. How can you be healthy and happy? How can you be effective in what you're designed to do in the earth, and the great things that you're meant to do here, and still maintain an amazing quality of life? So we want to tap today on the topic of brain health. You considered that? Many times we don't until we have the migraines, or we deal with someone who has dementia, or we start aging and have to focus more on it. But there are things you can do now to help your quality of life. Remember, this body that you have is the only one you get. So how amazing you are. You want to be that amazing in 40, 50 years when you're enjoying those golden age, right? Those years when you're really able to look back and celebrate all the things that you've done. You still want to be able to travel. You still want to be able to dress yourself, care for yourself. You still want to be in a place where you can think logically, retain your memory, and function as best as possible. So today, we're going to touch on some key factors, some tips that you can use to help increase your brain health. And some of them are easy, right? Some of them you probably already know. Tami, why are you taking up my time to talk about my brain? Let me answer that question first and tell you, do you know that your brain is your computer? So your brain is what retains everything and makes the whole rest of your body function. So if your brain shuts down, right? Sadly, there are individuals who are in comas because they lost brain function. And so what we want to do is, before you have to put the car in the shop, we want to start looking at how we can maintain us right now. So let's talk about it. One of the biggest tips that any medical professional will share is rest, sleep. the opportunity to let your brain reboot. It, just like your computer and your laptop, shuts down, allows opportunity for updates, things like that, the software, and then it comes back up. Most of the time when something happens, I'm not IT certified. I'm not even an IT professional or IT knowledgeable. But I have a friend that I call whenever something goes off technology wise. And one of the main things he says is, did you reboot? Family, it's important to allow your brain that place of rest because it's the biggest organ that has the most impact, right? It's great that your heart beats, but if you're not able to function, you ever felt like you in a fog? Or you ever felt like you just couldn't get it together or remember some things? Well, let's share some tips that can help you. Exercise is another one no one wants to think about. You know why exercise is important to your brain function? It's important because it allows all of the endorphins and all of the vessels in your body and your blood to flow. It allows your body to move at a place that keeps your brain not just at its optimus level. Think about it this way. If you walk fast, you're looking around to see what's in front of you. Your brain is functioning. You're paying attention to where you're going, right? If you're lifting weights, your muscles are now working with your brain to grow. Important exercise. There are some other easy things that you can do. Just a few more tips is to consider hitting a book regularly. How often do you read? Do you know that book clubs are famous for helping individuals with dementia? Those board games, playing checkers. How about that daily crossword puzzle? Family, not making this up. You can go on WebMD or any of those other amazing medical sites. You can Google it, brain health. And many of these tips, some of the first ones that you'll hear will start with rest. And it will remind you of how important reading can be because it allows the words to keep jogging your memory. And here's the thing. Do you know that when you read more often, you read faster? Your mind acknowledges vocabulary quicker and it grows faster. Consider allowing your mind to go somewhere with those adventures that's in those books. Reading can make a difference. Remember that there's many things you can do to stay socially active that will also help your brain function. Join a choir, join a book club, hit that bingo night. Staying social has an amazing impact on the vitality of your life, allowing your brain to feel happy. And do you know that when you are in a happy place and you're smiling more and your heart is lighter, that it helps alleviate the stress. Stress oftentimes impacts your brains first. That's why they say when you're stressed, you feel it in your neck, you feel it in your shoulders, the base of your head starts hurting. Family, how you care for yourself makes a difference. And for my coffee drinkers, I want to leave one tip that before you drink that cup of coffee in the morning, consider your cup of water first. Allow the water to hydrate your brain before you add the sugar, caffeine additives to it. Allow the water to refresh your organs. When you take your vitamins in the morning or whatever medications you might take, consider them with water to get that refreshment first, to get everything rinsed out your mouth, to get your heart and everything cleansed, to get your stomach awake now. Just plain water. Before you add the Cokes and before you add all the fruit juices and everything else that's condensed inside of water. Because your brain is important. Your brain retains your identity. Brain retains all the things that you've experienced in life that help to make you where you are. So while you're constantly praying, Lord, let this mind be that is also in Christ Jesus. That was for my church folk. While you're constantly praying that your brain, God helps keep your brain together, we want to give you tangible tips, family, because faith without works means you got to do something. Consider how you care for you. And do you know that the most important person that influences you is you? All right, one more tip for you that is most important. You ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? What you eat, your food, what you consume is just as important with your brain health. Take time and consider your nutrition. Consider how much green leafy vegetables. Consider what fruits you might eat. Consider the sugar intake that might add stress to your brain function, might slow down your blood flow so your blood doesn't get to your brain. Family, we want you to be healthy, remembering everything fabulous, be able to function and be amazing in your senior years, just as you are right now. And for folks who might be experiencing issues right now, there's neurological care waiting for you to inquire. Now, let me give you a real easy way. I love my introverts, and they just don't feel like everything is at the ready at their fingertips. Some folks don't want to go out and socialize. Some folks aren't interested in the networks and the groups and the choirs and the clubs. It's okay. YouTube University. Go on YouTube and watch videos about brain health. Okay, Tami, you said I can play some games. Let me find some games that will help me jog the other side of my brain. Those of us that are right-handed, the neurological experts say use your other hand often. So you know what I do? I brush my teeth with my left hand. It exercises the other side of the brain that I don't regularly use as a habit. Yeah, just regular tips, family. That's what we do here. So consider seeking care. If you feel like there's something you're experiencing, don't self-diagnose. Don't decide I'm just going to eat a whole lot of Tylenol until the pain goes away, because what that does is cause other issues. Liver damage is number one. When you take a lot of pills, unless you cleanse your liver regularly through detoxing, through water, it can give holes. A lot of medication can cause digestive issues. You're wondering why you have reflux all of a sudden. And now you have other symptoms all because of that headache. When it's quite possible that the headache is a symptom of something else. They can easily be fixed. When was the last time you had your eyes checked for glasses? That will cause stress on your brain. Trying to focus all the time, squinting. I was doing that for a long time before I got my peepers right. Family, our information today is meant to educate you and remind you of how important your brain health is. Not just to you today, the one like me who I'll go into a room and go, well, I know I came here for something. But in a few years, want to be able to function and drive and do the things that I can as long as I can. When I went to meet with a doctor once, the very first thing they asked me, a neurologist, are you doing something simple like a crossword puzzle every day? Because it's making you think. You're pulling from the depth of your brain, of your thoughts. It's making you process. It's got this 5-letter word that means this. Now I'm really going deeply to try to answer that. Or the crossword puzzles where you just fill in the letters, or even the ones where you just find the letters. I know I've got to look for this word, but I don't see it in all of these letters. Now you're making your brain function. You're forcing it to do its own type of workout, family. Regular tips you can imply. You can add to your daily habits. Come in the evening, and before you send all those messages and decide you're going to text all night, put the phone down and crossword puzzle, read another chapter in a book, pull out your Bible, whatever will help you, right? And whatever your age, if you're a senior, please understand this information applies to you. I know I've said a lot that you want to be great in your senior years. Well, for my seniors that are already there, we know you're great. Look at what you did and you accomplished that's behind you. But you still have so much more in front of you. Consider connecting. Socializing is extremely important. Getting away from your recliner, that regular day to day, and making your body move. Go sit out in the air. Having discussions with other people will also jog your memory. Before you know it, you've not only connected with others, but you started having a good time doing it. My mom is faithful to her bingo game on the weekends. Took everything to get her to go, to get her just to socialize. Now she won't miss it. And it's great because it allows her not just the atmosphere for fun, but an opportunity to think, I've got to look for these numbers. I've got to look for, okay, what am I listening for? Okay, M3. All right, I've got to, and all family, no matter how small it might seem, it's all for your good. We hope this information was helpful because your brain matters. It's too important to making sure you are all of that. You're striving to be amazing. Everything you do is to help you get to where you're trying to go. Make sure that you enjoy it, the ride, enjoy the journey, but also care for yourself because we need you to still be doing it in the next few years. Still be elevating, still improving, and still growing. Do you know that there was an 85-year-old lady who recently graduated college? She graduated from a nursing school. Said she decided to go back to school, 85 now, took these classes during a pandemic. Said she wanted to go back because she lost so many of the friends of hers at a nursing community. So now she's going for nursing certification just so that she can be a nurse to her friends in that nursing home. Nobody's asking your reason. Nobody needs to validate your why. What's important is that whatever God called you to do and be, we need you to care for yourself while you're in the process. And remember, it's not over until it's over. So why not live and do something new? Why not try something great? Why not pull out a different book? Why not watch some videos instead of just surfing? Why not consider how I can feed me so that I can be the best and feed the grandbabies around me, the coworkers around me? Just live like you're living your best life. Family, we hope this information was helpful. Brain health is too important. But guess what? The show is not over. There's more to come after this.
Show Weeks here with you on Financial Friday. If God gives us wealth and property, let us enjoy. We should be grateful, enjoy what we have worked for. It is a gift from God. Ecclesiastes 5:19, Good News Translation. Do we long for the next thing to the point where we have stopped taking care of what we have? Do we murmur and complain? Are we so unsatisfied with the sofa that we won't spruce up that once new blessing by purchasing a throw pillow or two, give it a good vacuum or steam clean? When is the last time we vacuumed out the car or took it for a good car wash? Do we keep the oil changed, engine tuned, tires rotated? How are we treating the old while we wait for the new? Do the seasoned blessings no longer count? To be content doesn't mean you don't desire more. It means you're thankful for what you have and patient for what's to come. Tony Gaskins. So on your way home, run the car through the car wash. Give it a good vacuum. Grab one of those Little Tree car fresheners, the new car scent, and place it in your seasoned blessing. And inhale that new car scent, praising God that your steering wheel, engine, and four wheels get you from point A to point B. Put on your favorite song. You might be in a Toyota, but you continue to praise God and ride like you're in the Tesla, knowing your new blessings are on the way. You've been empowered because you should prosper.
Welcome back, family. I'm your host, Tami. Thank you for joining us for the Power Up today. We're going to move right into some information that we wanted to share because of some feedback we received from some viewers. Quite a few of you asked basic questions about communication and speaking tips. Asked Tami, how do you do what you do? And I wanted to just share some information that can be helpful to anyone who might be in a public speaking position, or maybe in your job you have to train or educate. Maybe you have an opportunity in front of you, but you're just a little weary. First, I want to share this. Everybody's human. There's no perfect speaker, communicator, motivator out there. What you see is a broken vessel, just doing my best. All you can do is your best. But let's share some tips that might be helpful, okay? When you think about public speaking, there's a few things that we first want to remind you of. Communication in general. First, breathe. I get the question all the time when I finish speaking. You do it so well. It's like you don't get nervous at all. I want to tell you that is a myth. Most of the time, whenever I get the mic in my hand, especially in front of large audiences, you're going to feel those butterflies. I'm human. You're human. You're in a new place that might feel uncomfortable or just new. So understand that nerves are going to be impacted. It's part of your makeup. That's nothing to be upset about, even embarrassed about. What you do want to do is incorporate breathing techniques, ways for you to refocus, get yourself calmed so that you can accomplish the mission. Whether you're preaching, whether you're just delivering a message, maybe you're going live on social media, maybe you're standing in front of everyone delivering a keynote message, or just talking to a lot of parents at the PTA. It does not matter the level if it's all about you and you being prepared. So another tip that I want to share is to know your audience. Okay, so while you're breathing and getting you together and making sure you're centered, you're not going to talk to a group of kindergartners the same way you would to collegiate scholars, right? You got a group of 4 and 5-year-olds. How you're going to speak to them is important and very different than how you would those who are receiving their diploma, maybe, or they're scholars in a certain area, and expect your knowledge base to be different. Think about it this way. Kindergartners are probably rocking the ABC song, but you won't be singing that at a college graduation. Just know your audience. If you're speaking to a group of teens and youth, their attention span is going to be very different. But if you're teaching to parents, they might be hanging on every word you have to say. Just know the group you're speaking to. I promise you, it can help you in those moments of nervousness. Also consider not winging it if you're unsure. Woo, come on, somebody. I speak almost every day. My mouth is my money. I'm a trainer with the U.S. government. I'm a speaker on different platforms, and I'm a coach and mentor and advisor. So if I'm not on the phone with someone or on a video, then I'm usually, so I've learned through sheer repetition how to communicate better. But there's no perfect person. I want to say that again. So one of the things that I recommend is that you watch people who do it well and consider what they're doing. That's one of the best tips for any new speakers. YouTube University. Google motivational speakers for a minute and just watch different speakers and how they deliver. TED Talks is famous for just having regular average people get on the stage and share their story, which is another key tip. You've got to be able to relate to your audience. Otherwise, your audience is never going to want to hear you speak again. Right? The information can be thick as mud. It can be something like brain health. Everybody doesn't care about neurology. Everybody doesn't understand anatomy, how the body is formed and its functions. But when you can make it where it's relatable, that's where people go, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I need to try that. They're listening with more intent to not just assume the information, but figure out how to apply the information. That's one of the key tips that I share with ministers, with those who stand in a pulpit, with those of whatever your faith is. When you have a group of parishioners in front of you that are longing for hope, you don't want to preach the Bible at them because you probably won't see them again. At this point, we're in the social media age. They can go to church and get a whole lot of services without leaving their house. But the difference and what makes people come back is when they feel part, when they feel like someone understands, and when they leave after hearing you and feel differently. They feel better. Maybe they feel more hope. Maybe they feel like there's an answer. Who knows? But what you drop are seeds in the ground. So how you communicate, what you communicate. So your knowledge is definitely important, right? That's another one. Know your subject. I can't stand in front of you and educate you on neurology, but so much. I am not a MD in brain health. However, what I know is from working with individuals who struggle with dementia, my work as a fitness professional. I know having to rehab and work with individuals in the aging population because that's where my heart is. I love those silver slipper groups, the folks where they're trying to make sure that when you get older, doesn't mean we just put you in a corner and it's over. Oh no, we're trying to be vibrant and amazing. So I know my lane, I know my limits. I have the knowledge, and that's what I'm going to speak of. But I'm not going to go into the this is, thus is, and thous of the medical community. Family, there's easy tips that you can apply to help you not just communicate well, but also be someone where people want to hear what you have to say. Approachable, personable, just being you. When you watch those other folks and learn and listen to what they're saying and watch their body movement and their composure, remember that in it all, we just need you. Many of the amazing speakers nowadays don't have college degrees. They're not doctors, and they don't have a lot of those diplomas that would make people stop and say, I want to hear what you have to say. The reason that individuals pause space and time to hear from that person is because they're relatable. They feel like they understand. Let me break it down for you. Anyone who's had children will probably listen to somebody else who's had a child. But giving me advice on how to have a child and you never had a child, I'm going to think you can't relate. But what I will do in those moments when I need to be better is make sure that I seek individuals that I feel I can relate to. Make sure you breathe and focus you. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to feel what you feel. We just need you. Make sure that you're knowledgeable about what you're speaking of. Don't ever wing it. If you need notes, I take notes all the time with me when I'm presenting, especially when there are certain topics that I'm familiar with, but maybe not as knowledgeable of. I take notes with me. Yeah. Preparation, preparation, preparation. Know your audience. There's a difference in the approach. With little people, you might get on the floor, sing an Indian style with them, sing some songs, go, yay, clap your. There's a way you relate to them where they come running to you, wanting to hug you when they see you. There's also a way to impact larger crowds where the entire room is captivated, all because of you being the best you and sharing information to make them better. Remember, you and delivery is also important. Practice, practice, practice. How did I get good at what I do in the horrible slang? I do it a lot. I do it a lot. Sheer repetition. I wasn't always able to just take a mic and go. I wasn't always able to write speeches for other people. I wasn't always here. Experience is the best teacher. And yep, that even means your mirror and you talking to you. Family, you can be a master communicator. But how is that going to help you articulate to your husband or wife, to the children in your home, to your boss when there's a project due? See, because you don't need to be a master to just do it well. Sometimes it's being intentional about what you're trying to say. I want to share this last communication tip. And I want to go for a minute over to that wonderful written communication. Emails, text messages, what we don't like to talk about in here. And we want to share this, that while you're working on public speaking tips, while you're working on how you communicate and presence and what people feel when you speak to them, consider what people take away from what you write. Because text messages can be misinterpreted. Emails can be misinterpreted as well. Oftentimes, people have to text and then go back and apologize. And here's the message. Simplify so you're saying what you mean to say. And maybe even consider waiting before you send it. If you're in the heat of the moment, rule number 1 is don't send it. Allow yourself to cool off. Even if you type it up, let it sit till tomorrow. Come back with a fresh perspective and third eye, because I promise you, you're going to delete half of that. All because you had opportunity to. Remember, the best you is what the entire world wants to see, and it's all you want to honestly show. Because that's why you have your behind closed doors, where you can be a different you. But when you're in front of folks, poise, class, that's what you want to exemplify. Knowing that you're a resource and at your best. That's a mom helping the baby with homework. If you don't know, let's get you a tutor, honey. Helping with the husband with a project, or even what you do every day on the job. So we hope these communication tips were helpful. We hope we responded to your inquiry in a way that helps you be a better you, because we're all in this together. Family, we hope that you can take this information, equip yourself, educate yourself, and start to elevate yourself, because the sky is the limit. Stay tuned though. This isn't the end. We have our wrap up coming up. So there's more after this.
Hi guys, it's Tina Wynn, your host of the podcast, You See Me. I want you guys to stay encouraged, continue to come out and see me, and most importantly, see yourselves. Remember, the only way that you can truly enjoy life is to see other people so that you can enjoy the beauty of seeing yourself. Come join me Saturdays at 4 on the We Empowered Network. Thank you.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is Regina Hutt, the wellness practitioner at Empower Mornings. Join me every Monday at noon to work out with Regina on One Network.
Welcome back, family, to the Power Up. Oh, we hope you're feeling powerful after all of the content and tips that we shared. Our amazing team of the Power Up just comes together weekly to make sure that we can share, enrich, all for the purpose of you being the best you possible. During this wrap-up segment, we want to again share our thoughts are with those overseas across the water, our Pakistani and Syrian brothers and sisters, those migrants and refugees who are fleeing their country. Many of their family members live here in the United States, and we want to let them know we stand with them. Anytime there's loss of loved one, that's not a time to judge. It's a time for empathy. In other words, for us to be nice and care. Because if it was you, you would want the same courtesy. Remember that you can share resources on water tips on how you can remain healthy where you are during these summer months. You can obtain that information from the American Red Cross. The same way you can donate blood. Remember that just you donating one time can save up to 7 lives. And you can feel free to also make cash donations as they respond to emergencies across the United States. Those tornadoes, those hurricanes, feel free to reach out to them. They are an amazing entity that helps our grassroots and nonprofits, agencies that do the groundwork every day. We also want to make sure that we share time to talk about the health of our brain being important. Brain health is too important because it is your computer. It's what makes you you. It's what helps you function. So you've got to take time and do things like hydrating your brain before that cup of coffee, allowing your body to rest, shut your brain down so that it can wake up fresh the next morning. Watching what you eat, even playing those daily crossword puzzles, some regular puzzles, figuring out what games you can do. And even if you're a senior, being social and active. Come on, get a new book, get a library card, and get as many as you want on a regular basis. Remember, your vocabulary grows when you read words. As important as your brain health is, because it helps with your communication. So we wanted to take time during this show to respond to one of our amazing viewers and share communication tips, not just public speaking, but in general. How you handle you is what's key. Again, being human, nerves are going to take effect. But if you're comfortable in what you're speaking about, you'll find that the nerves don't overpower you. Know your audience, who you're going to speak to. Know the differences about what's happening with that group so that you can be prepared. And if necessary, come on and practice in that mirror. Speak in front of the kids. Do whatever you need to do to be the best you. Don't wing it if you don't have to. Knowledge is power, but sometimes you can stand in front of a group of folks and freeze. I've done it. I literally took paper in front of me and lost what I was saying. Had a whole thing on my mind that I was going to step out there and do first. Thankful that I had the talking points because I was able to do what I was intended to do. Train on the information. And then it came back to me during the dialogue and I just used it as my closure. Family, you're amazing. There's no perfect individual out here. What you can do is grow from others, their body language, their style, take tips, right? You can even get communication books. You can decide you want to take a communication class. Go on, become a master. It's never too late to be the best, most amazing you. And remember, don't send that email in the heat of the moment. Even those text messages can wait until you allow the heat, the simmer, the steam to finally release. When you're in a better mental place, when you're in a better heart space to address the issue, you find that you respond instead of reacting. Sometimes that reaction requires an apology or even bail money. What you don't want to do is pop off, especially in writing, because you can't take it back. Family, we hope these tips are helpful for you. We want to share during our wrap up how important you are to the earth. Sometimes fear will stop us in everything we do. I mean, it will put us in a stuck, stagnant space, all because we're unsure or anxiety is at 1,000, or we just are in a place where the unknown is too overwhelming. Taking time to prepare, take an opportunity to breathe, to refocus, get a mentor. If you see somebody doing what you want to do, honey, do what I do. Call them up and see if they're taking mentees. Oh, yes, I have mentors with an S. Seek an advisor, someone that can give you advice in a specialty area. For example, if you want to speak about financial management, how about connect with a financial advisor? That way they can also not just show you the information, but teach you the ropes and even open doors for opportunity. Come on, I just helped somebody. You want to be a teacher? Okay, connect with teachers. There are networks that can help you. Step out of that place of fear and just decide, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it because I don't want to be here next year and say, I wish I had. I sure should have. Man, I could have. You want to be able to celebrate the look what I did. And I can't wait for what's in front of me. Oh, and there's so much ahead. We often are reminded, for those of us that are brothers and sisters of faith, that the Bible has 365 references to fear. Most of them start with fear not. And it's because intentionally, there's 365 days of the year. Y'all like how that works, don't you? See, intentionally, God cares about where you are with everything that He's designed for you to do. And fear is a real thing. The devil tried to tempt God, tempt Jesus, to make him fearful. Eve was even tempted. So there's times when you're going to experience the different things of life, the haters, the people trying to distract you, all the stuff, your health issues, your money's low. There's stuff that's going to try to distract you. But there's a difference in a distraction and deciding you're going to stay stuck. What we wanted to remind you today before we end this segment is that you have everything inside of you to be great. You have everything you need to rock this world. Like no one else. Uniquely different. Because that's what we need. We don't need a million Tammys. I'm struggling with just this one. What we need is for you to be the most amazing, fabulous. You are, but that takes every day. That takes every moment. Sometimes it takes speaking to yourself. I'm not going to be scared right now. Nope. I'm going to do it. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and apply for that job. I know I might not be as qualified, but I feel like it's what I want to try. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Because if you try and win, if you try and get it, If you try and succeed, then now you're accomplishing your dreams. And every dream can be a goal, can be a progress step, can be a daily habit. And before you know it, look at where you are. Family, we need you to understand fear is not something that can overcome you. You're more powerful than fear. You have the ability to speak to that thing. There's a song that came out years ago, and the song is a gospel song, and it says, order my steps in your word, order my thoughts in your word, order my heart. It just asks that when I pray to whom I believe, where my faith is, that I do it in a way that I'm believing by faith. I can't see it. It's not happening yet, but that I'm going to keep walking one step at a time, knowing that you already got it designed for me. You've gone before me, and you're in me, and you're around. I can't help but win. Then your fears become a notion. Yeah, I guess it might suck if I'm out there on stage butt naked. That's why they say that's the one you should think of when you're really having a bad, when you're really struggling with getting ready to speak. You got to picture yourself in your underwear on stage. That's what they say. Doesn't work for me because, yeah, that just doesn't work for me. But what it does, what it's meant to do is help lighten the load. It's meant to help free your mind. That if I'm going to look crazy in my underwear in front of all these people, then I might as well do it fully clothed and have fun doing it. I might as well do it where I can enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey called Tami, the journey of you. Don't allow fear to stop you and make you stay. Sometimes you got to address it. You got to speak to it. You got to put positive stuff around you that outweighs the negative. When you start to get those thoughts, call someone. The suicide prevention lifeline. It's one of those resources that's available. If you find yourself in such a state of fear that you can't move forward, and the only option you're fearing is check it out, we're losing you and the amazing gifts and talents that you have. And we need that in the earth. There's help available for you. And I would rather hear your story than read it in an obituary. Because you decided that fear told you, no, you can't, and you're going to stop today. And did you know that the morning is coming? And that the morning's bringing brand new opportunities? Did you know that there's a tomorrow that's going to be great if you can just hang on until tomorrow? Family, at the Power Up, we've got your back. We can't wait to witness you and all that you're going to be. We can't wait to have you and your show be part of the We Empower Network. We are excited and ready to hold up your sign saying, you got this. We're ready to hold up those pom-poms and wave in the crowd. We're ready to say, look at her. Look at him. We are excited and standing with you. Go do it and go be great. Even if you fall, get back up, dust yourself off, put a Band-Aid, whatever you need to do. Go to the ER if it's broken, get it fixed, and then get on right back out there. Because it's not over. And there's so much more that we get to experience when you are the best you. So we hope today's segment was powerful, was helpful. I feel better from today. I feel equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated. Take on the world. We'll see you next time.